The NFL owners meetings, they talk about rules a lot. And a couple things have been tabled. The biggest headline was the Tush push. Mm-hmm. Were they going to ban the Tush push? They have kicked the can down the road.
What does that mean? They just said we'll deal with it next year, so we got another year.
There's more meetings in May. I think May 20th and 21st. So they may revisit it then.
Well, why? Let's just deal with it now, one way or the other.
Maybe the people that really want to outlaw it, they didn't have enough. They did. You know, the.
Is it true? They
like on Congress. What do they call the people that keep track of votes? The whips.
Yeah,
they
couldn't whip enough votes.
Yeah, 16 NFL teams apparently supported it, according to ESPN's Kalen Kaler.
Somebody told me, is this wrong? It must be wrong. They only needed 25% support?
No, you need 24 out of 32, so 75.
24 out of 32, okay. So
they have basically half the league is willing, according to ESPN, is willing to ban it.
So they'll vote again or try to vote again.
So you can't vote till you have the votes, and they don't have the votes.
Yeah.
I'm
guessing they're not going to get the votes in May either.
We have audio of Dan Quinn, Commanders head coach, talking about it during the meetings.
I think I spend more of my time thinking of ways to stop it, and which is fun too. But as far as plays go, that's really what the competition committee is for, to look into things and say which is better. Do we change? Do we leave things the same? And so it's for that. It's also for ideas like on kickoff, which I'm really pumped that we decided as a league to put in kickoff, and I thought it gave our team a lot of energy, and I thought it is also good for the league. So I hope that trend really continues in a strong way. We've proven that we can do it safer, and that was a number one goal. And so the fact that was accomplished first.
So he's alluding to the change in kickoff, and I think what they did is they moved the spot. If you down the kick, it's going to be the 35. You start at the 35. So it's incentive for the kicking teams, I guess, to not kick it out of the end zone.
Right.
To kick it in the landing zone.
Make them return.
To encourage to avoid touchbacks.
Right.
Because you're giving up 5 yards.
And I think they projected, these are projected, but they projected the kick returns, which were down to 15 to 20%, to jump to somewhere between 55 and 60%.
And they also,
so you should see a lot more kickoff returns.
You might know this, but they also tweaked the rule where the return team, how they are aligned to block, the setup. How did they do that? So what I'm reading is they've tweaked it so the setup zone could lead to longer returns. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
I'm not really sure either.
Yeah, so they tweaked that too.
As for the Tush push, the Eagles are the team that's affected the most by it. I've said it. I actually kind of feel like they're just getting hoard. Imagine if Cliff Kingsbury cooked up a play this year for Jaden Daniels that the league couldn't stop. Some sort of read option, and then whatever. He flips it to the other side of the field, and they're the only team that can do it super successfully. The Eagles scored 27 touchdowns and had 92 first downs in the last 3 years using the Tush push. Scored 11 touchdowns on it with 32 first downs during their Super Bowl run this past season. And it's the league is saying, we can't stop it, so let's get rid of it. And Sirianni said it's akin to this quarterback sneak.
Except for the whole pushing stuff.
Yes.
I wish they would do
but they're not getting the votes. So maybe these teams that aren't voting or voting against it still think it's, they can use it and it's beneficial to them too.
I guess.
It's beneficial to Buffalo.
I would guess all of the NFC East teams that are facing it twice a year
maybe
are
not
voting
them.
against it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize this until Dan said that in the interview, was that he has to devote a lot of time and resources on how to stop this one play. You only have so many hours in a week to prepare for a team.
Right.
And if you're devoting a lot of your man hours to stop one play, that's a huge advantage for the Eagles.
He hasn't seen the video that you put out on how to stop the Tush.
Yeah, invite me to Ashburn. I'll show exactly how to stop it.
You could be a Commander's consultant.
I could be.
You get down on your back.
Yes.
In leg press position.
And
you push.
Yeah.
With your
you push back.
With your cleats.
They're doing a Tush push and you're pushing back.
It's very unorthodox, but I don't hate it.
Hey,
It's
Frankie
leverage,
Louvu
all leverage.
Frankie Louvu was doing the missile theory. Just
That's
launch yourself like a missile. Problem is he didn't time it right.
So they also changed the overtime rules as a
What is it now?
Well, it's like it is in the postseason where each team gets a possession. So if the first team scores a touchdown, the game would be over.
That's gone
in
now.
the regular season.
Yeah,
it's gone. So the regular season is now like the postseason.
So everyone's going to get at least a chance to touch it once.
Correct.
I mean, I guess I like that.
That seems fair.
I guess. I guess, but the idea was to kind of
because if you go down in the regular season before, if you went down and kicked a field goal, well, the other team also had a chance,
right?
To
but they were trying to reward defense. Like you actually made a decent stop.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, but it's fair that both teams get an opportunity.
If they just completely then they shoved it on you, they deserve the dub. I guess not anymore.
Because you're at the mercy of the coin flip.
Well, not if you play great defense, though.
Oh, I know, but if you could play great defense. What if it's a fluke? It's a fluky play and they score a touchdown. I think it's good that they are giving both teams an opportunity to score. And then the other thing that they did was, they have the replay assist. So replay will now be involved in some of these calls, these objective calls from refs, like face masks, like running into the kicker, running into the punter, horse collar. All of that was an objective call from the referees. Well, now they can go to replay to see if he actually did grab the horse collar.
Hip drop tackle, is that going to be in the mix too?
I think that's only great.
Hip drop, I don't know.
But that's only if a flag is thrown.
Flag has to be thrown. Yeah.
So So you catch a ball and someone blatantly grabs your face mask. No flags thrown. You can't replay assist.
So what it could end up happening is the guys are just flag happy, and they're just like, if they don't know, they're just going to throw the flag and let the replay official worry about it.
The problem with that, like I remember, I think it was a Vikings game late in the season where Sam Darnold got face mask, like a vicious face mask. There was no flag thrown, and it wasn't called.
Right.
So in this case,
same thing. You'd have the same.
Was that the one in the end zone?
I think it was in the end zone.
Yeah.
So in this case, you still wouldn't be able to go back and rectify that because no flag was thrown?
If there's no flag, yes.
I don't like that.
What about this scenario? What about a quarterback scrambles out of the pocket, is still in bounds and gets hit, but a flag is thrown, but he was still in bounds? Could you review that both feet of the quarterback were in play when contact was made from the defender?
I mean, if it's a subjective call, I guess you could, if that's what they're looking to do with the replay assist.
I think one thing you're going to like is the chain gang is now just the backup. They're going to spotting the ball.
The Hawkeye technology.
Yes.
And explain what the Hawkeye technology is. That actually like a chip in the ball? Do we know exactly what that
entails? The only issue with that
just says here that the method for measuring first downs will switch from chain gangs to camera-based technology.
Right.
The traditional chain crew will remain on the sidelines in a secondary capacity.
But what the Hawkeye technology doesn't do is spot the ball. Spotting the ball is still a big deal because you can have all of the Hawkeye technology. It's still a human that's spotting the ball.
It's true.
So that's still something.
But they can review it though.
I mean, I guess, but there's still going to be potential for human error with the ball spot. The Hawkeye technology does not completely fix that problem.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if I'm following then.
The chain gang just measures from wherever it was spotted.
I understand the chain gang. So that's irrelevant to me now.
Yeah.
Explain to me.
The referee's got to go in and if somebody gets tackled and
the ref's got to go spot it.
Remember.
But why can't they
remember the controversial spot?
I'm just reading something from Frank
Remember the
Schwab.
controversial spot in the Bills game?
Yes.
One of the referees, like on one side of the field, came in and it looked like it was a first down. The other guy was like a yard shorter.
Understood.
Why
does the Hawkeye technology not clear that up?
This is from Frank Schwab from Yahoo Sports. He says, feel the need to say this again. This does not solve anything we complain about. It practically never happens that the chain gang incorrectly measures whether it's a first down or not. It's the spot of the ball that's the concern. So we're talking about when the play is done, like when the play is over, like where does the ref run in and spot the ball?
I understand that.
I don't think the Hawkeye technology
has nothing to do with that.
I don't think it completely solves that issue.
I've never had an issue with the chain gang guy malfunctioning on pulling the chain to the 10 yards.
They want to speed it up, apparently.
They're only using.
They want to speed it up so that you don't have these old guys out there for 2 minutes.
You'll hardly ever see it.
Yes.
They're only using it to measure the first down, the 1 inch or the 2 inch, to see if it's a first round instead of having the donks run out on the field.
Well, they should have. Why
So
don't
just
they
like in
use-
tennis with the Hawkeye, it's got all these high speed cameras up above. So they're shooting down at the field, and they can tell from a mile away if that's a first down or not. If it
Okay,
That's
that's fine.
Yeah,
But why aren't they using that to help with the spot too?
because I think a lot of spot might be partial judgment. A lot of times, I don't know.
Maybe
Judgment
eventually-
if it's like forward progress, for example.
Yeah.
It's going to be judgment by somebody.
Yeah, then it's not.
The camera's not going to know.
Then it's not going to help anything.
When the knee goes down.
No, it's still an issue.
It's not going to help anything.
It's
You're going to
maybe
see calls by. You're going to see refs spot balls, and you're going to be like, "What is that guy doing?"
yeah.
He's spotting it either yard forward or yard back where it should be.
yeah, that's going to happen. But they'll have the cameras. They'll have 6 big cameras overlooking the field. Maybe eventually they will use the Hawkeye, for all of those calls. But this year, they're not going to use it for the spot.
But I like the kickoff rule. Of all the rules, look, I don't love watching the tush push. I feel like it's a wimpy way out by these teams. Learn to stop it. But of all the rules, I like that they're going to make, I think, it harder to just kick the ball out of bounds. Unless you're a defense that just says, okay, go ahead, start at the 35, which I don't think many coaches are going to want teams to start at the 35. I mean, 2 first downs are in field goal range.
Yeah, coaches are not going to want that.
So I like that we're going to see more kickoff returns.
I like kickoff returns. I didn't think it was a big issue at this point.
They've become pretty much neutralized over the last 10 or 15 years.
Now they're still doing kind of that XFL bit where the guys line up.
That's fine.
In a different spot.
You know what? It took me half of a season to get used to it.
Yeah.
Now it looks normal to me.
What I hate is they ruined onside kicks. I get sites for onside kicks. The possibility, I think they've ruined it.
Yeah, but those even at their height,
Why?
they were
Because they've got to let the team know that they're doing it.
Got to let them know. There's no surprise element.
Right, and there a fourth quarter element to it too.
I used to like how you could actually even do it a couple times, and they wouldn't hold it against you. I don't know. They just made it so hard now.
Didn't they?
It's like impossible.
Didn't they originally change the kickoff rules because they didn't want as many returns because guys were getting hurt? So they were trying to cut down on injuries.
Yes.
For the returners.
Yes. But now they think they figured out a way that they can make the collisions not quite as violent.
So now they're saying, okay, we want returns back.
Yes, but
essentially.
But not as
they
violent.
want more action and more
that's
scoring.
Austin Eckler.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. Eckler got pummeled.
Yeah, I've never
twice?
seen a guy hit so hard.
Yeah, he got pwned.
Yeah. So I don't know what the number of injuries were on returns, but now it looks like you're going to get more injuries on returns now if teams are forced to kick it inside the landing spot.
Mm-hmm. It's a violent game.
It is. I know.
800-636-1067 is the number if you want to chime in. You can also text us on the Lido Pizza text line. Coming up next, we're going to get back to what the University of Maryland did. They hired a new head basketball coach. His name is Buzz Williams. He's replacing Kevin Willard. Kevin Sheehan, huge Terps fan, our colleague on the Team 980 from 10 to 1. He'll join us next here on the Junkies.